everyone, it's Chanel with Color Me Stylish, and I am coming back this week, now that I'm feeling better, with a new video. Just some things that I actually picked up. My husband got for me one piece last week, and then I was in Sephora here in Mexico yesterday, just kind of doing some restock of some things that I needed. So I thought I would do a kind of a makeup look, something on a little bit more of the natural side, just to kind of show you guys some of the products and just kind of incorporate them so you can see how they look, and then just do a makeup look along with that as well. So forgive my voice. I'm coming off of a very bad flu. Yeah, I guess I was in the States this summer and it didn't even think or dawn on me to get, a flu shot, and I highly regret it now because I think that would have helped a lot because it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I haven't been sick in like 3 years. So it's almost like my body didn't know what to do about getting sick and things like that. So I am going to kind of voice over a lot of this just because my voice is still a little bit raw, but I thank you guys so much for joining me. So just to kind of talk about some of the things that I did, I was in Sephora, so here in Mexico City, and so it can be a little bit tricky finding a lot of the things here just because sometimes they just don't have stock on things, or it just hasn't been shipped in, and so their turnaround is a lot longer than it is in the States. And so just kind of digging in the bag, I kind of wanted to restock on some of the things that I was really low on. So I needed a new face powder. So normally I use the Sephora brand, and this is in the Mocha Spice, and they're just kind of pressed powder that they have, or foundation powder, but as you can see, it is nearly done. And then I also usually love to use, just as I've done my makeup and everything, just to kind of set the whole face, one of my favorites is the Laura Mercier setting powder, and it is in the translucent medium deep, and this also is completely done. And so that's when I went to Sephora yesterday just to kind of see what I can restock. And for the Laura Mercier, everything for Laura Mercier was completely gone. Like, they even had a sheet over the display, and I was kind of like, what's going on? And they were just like, we haven't received any new stock of anything. They were completely out. And I didn't feel like just hunting around Mexico City for anything else. And so I decided, well, let me just kind of try something new. So I love doing that as well. And so what I am going to be using today this is the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. And this is in the number 480. So I'm hoping, because they didn't have any other colors available, of course, and so I'm going to be using this. So I'm just going to kind of open this up so you guys can kind of see this packaging. And so I feel like I've been on a Fenty kick recently, just with a lot of things, and just kind of more discovering more things in her line. And so this is the powder that I picked up, and again, this is the Pro Filter powder in 480. And I'll just open this up, but I thought just even the packaging is really cute. Like, look at that. It's really pretty. And then when you kind of like lift this up, it's got the mirror, and then it also has like the little pad that I never use. And so that was really cute. It's got like the mirror on that side and a mirror on this side as well. So this is what I'm going to be using just to kind of set the whole face. Or sometimes I usually, if it's just a basic day and I'm just running down the street or just anything like that, and I want to look like I'm actually awake, I'll just use a powder like this all over my face, quick, concealer, brows, and out the door. And then the other thing that I picked up that I actually have been wanting to try is, this is the Fenty as well, and this is the Eavesdrop, the blurring skin tint. So I will be using that on my face. Sorry, I feel like I always have to open it from the bottom. And so this is in the number 23. So again, hopefully this color works. Sorry, I cannot get it out of here. It's like stuck. Okay, so there it is, and this is the packaging. that it comes in, and it just has, which I love, that little like drop part right there. And so that is what I'm going to be using just as a foundational base, just to kind of see what that looks like. So I have been using for just most of my like just makeup tutorials, makeup looks, and just every day, I have been using my Dior, and so I was really surprised actually that they had this color in stock. And I use N or 8N for the color. And again, I don't know what got stuck to this, but it was something inside the drawer. But I just like this one as well because it has like that dropper style as well. So but I wanted to try something new just to kind of, you know, shake things up, and I like discovering new makeup products. And then I was down to like no eyebrow pencil, and I know I just bought some and restocked when I came back from the States this summer, but I feel like my daughter stole them because she steals my stuff. So I wanted to try this, and this is their Sephora, and it's in their eyeliner. But I like using eyeliners for my brows, and it's in waterproof, which is great as well, just for any sweating, things like that, or like if I go to the gym. But this is the Ultimate Gel Eyeliner, and it is in the color number 7, Espresso Matte. But that is what I'm going to be using on my brows just to kind of define them. And then lastly, another thing that I recently picked up that I wanted to share with you guys that I was shocked to find here in Mexico, because I mean, it's, even though we're so close, we're a little far. It's just, you don't always find things super close. So I have used Good Molecules, or I wanted to use, I picked this up when I was in the States in Sephora, and this is their discoloration correcting body treatment. And so just for like little things like this where I've been kind of, well, honestly forgetting to put it on this just to kind of fade some marks, bumps, things like that. Burnt myself with the iron like 2 years ago, and I still have like that dark mark, so I just wanted to see how this would work. But then I end up getting out of the shower, lotioning my body, and then forgetting to use this on that. But I have been using it also just like on my upper lip because I had hyper pigmentation, and I am actually seeing it fade like this. I get surprised because sometimes it's like, is it really gonna work? And I guess I just always remember to put this on my face versus my body in certain spots. And so I am happy to say that this actually works. So I'm super happy about that, just because it has been fading that like shadow mustachy kind of look that I've had. And so just to say with that is I was in Sally's Beauty here down the street, and I was just kind of looking around for some nail stuff because I always do my own nails, and I came across Good Molecules. They had a tiny little section, but it was there, and I needed to just get like a new retinol, and so this is their Good Molecules Gentle retinol cream. And so it just comes in a kind of like a tube like this, so it's all squished down because I have actually been using it at night. So this has been nice, doesn't cause any stinging or irritation. For me, I don't have super sensitive skin, so I can try a lot of different things. But I just like to put this everywhere after I've done my whole skincare routine, down the neck, on the chest, things like that. So, hey, I'm 42 and retinol does work, I'm just saying. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of pick that up. So let's go ahead and start this makeup look, and I will kind of voice over a lot of this just because my voice is so strained. So to start, I'm going to be using a face primer that I got from a store here in Mexico, and the beauty brand is called Beauty Creations. But I just love this because you can see immediately when it goes on my skin, it just kind of blurs everything, and it just almost acts like its own little filter. So I decided to put that just, you know, everywhere where I'm going to put foundation and my powder, and then just kind of trying out, you know, the Fenty dewdrops. I usually do use a brush, as you saw me putting on, but I kind of wanted to share with you guys just like how close to my complexion the color was. It's beautiful. I'm super happy with this. And as you can see, it just glides on. It's super lightweight. It almost made it feel like I was just kind of putting on a face cream or a lotion. Just the consistency was just really creamy. And again, it just, with the primer, just really blurred everything out. It was almost like my camera just kind of, put on a filter itself. So I was really happy with the way that this turned out. And now going in, this is the concealer that I've been loving. It's by Clinique, and just kind of putting that all over, the under eye. I know there's different ways of how people like to put on concealer, but you just have to go with what works for your face and just, what you're going for. But for me, I like to kind of put it under the eye and around the nose and on the top of my lip, just to kind of, brighten up that area. And then whatever excess that I have with the brush, just kind of adding that to the top of my lid, just because my skin tone in those areas are a little bit darker. And if I'm using a colored eyeshadow, I really want that color to be able to pop and just really show that definition. And so these are the areas that I like, just to conceal and just kind of brighten up. And then kind of going in after that, just to kind of add in a little bit more brightness. One of my favorites, this is by Sephora, and this is their Bright Future concealer. And just kind of going in and just adding it to the small areas by the tear duct, just to kind of brighten up, because with this formula consistency, a little bit definitely goes a long way. So just kind of going in with my bigger foundation brush, I like to just kind of, just blend those two colors together, just so that there's no like stark lines anywhere, and just kind of make it more seamless and smooth all over the face. And then going in with my newest favorite, again, I used to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I discovered the Sephora brand, which is just as great. And just going in with the dry, beauty blender, I like to just kind of really pat that into the under eye. And I've noticed that when I started doing this step, that, my under eye, just stayed brighter, and that concealer just stayed, much longer on my face for hours, and it just really set that in. And then using the new, eye pencil that I just picked up. Again, it is for eyes, but I just love the consistency and the dark color. So I wanted to try this out for my eyebrows. And again, it's waterproof. So if I'm sweating, going to the gym, working out, or just having it on for all day, longer hours, I have to say that this really worked well, and I'll definitely be purchasing this again. So just kind of going in with my brows. You guys know I like to do, just one at a time, but kind of at the same time, just to make sure I get the shape right. But just loving how smooth this pencil was. I can just kind of do those hair-like strokes and just kind of get the shape that I'm going for. So for my eyeshadow, I'll be using the Morphe palette in 9D Painted Desert. So I really liked this one because it just had more natural tones. So I'll just kind of be using, to start, the one in the middle, a little bit more red tones, and then darker for outside, and just a little bit of the orange. I wasn't sure yet. I think, I ended up changing it to a little bit more of the bronze, but I wanted to keep it as natural as possible. So just kind of going in, I love this brush because it is so big, and it just kind of adds that color, but it also blends at the same time. So just kind of cuts down on a lot of steps. So just kind of sharing with you guys this color. It's almost like a brick or a terracotta color, but again, it's just a little bit more on the natural side. So I definitely just wanted to add that all over and just kind of dusting off any excess. Again, because the brush is so large, it's just perfect for just kind of getting into all the corners and really blending at the same time, so that I can kind of just get out the door a little bit faster. And now going in with the brown color, I wanted to kind of just define the eyes just a little bit more, but just kind of keep it more natural. So I was, just more concentrating on the outside of the eyelid and just kind of adding that. So it just added a little bit of detail and kind of brought that red terracotta color down just a little bit so it wasn't too bright, because again, I want to keep this look as natural as possible. And I decided to kind of go in, sorry, I think I lost that footage, of a little bit of the bronze just in the middle. And then this by Morphe, it's just more of a champagne color, but I wanted to brighten and really open the eyes. So I decided just to kind of add that towards the bottom and the tear duct, just to kind of brighten the eyes and just kind of brighten underneath that lash line at the bottom as well. So going in, I wanted to keep, the eyes as soft as possible. So instead of using just a traditional eyeliner or liquid liner that I normally do, this is a jumbo pencil or eyeshadow pencil that they have at Sephora, and just kind of going in with a smaller tapered brush, I decided just to kind of add that to the lash line, just to kind of add a little bit more definition to the lashes, since I wasn't using any lashes with this look, but to still keep it as soft as possible so there wasn't that stark, line that you would normally see with a liquid or a pencil liner. So for this look, I didn't want to use lashes. Again, I wanted this to keep, just be a little bit more natural. So I am using a lash primer. So the one I'm using is by Lashtastic by Sephora, but you can also use any brand. So it does come out white, which I do like because it helps you to see, where you're putting the product and make sure that you're grabbing every lash, that it's as defined as possible. And so I like to just kind of really get this into the roots, get this all to the tips of the lashes, and just grab each one and really layer that in there as much as possible, just to make sure that I've coated it with enough product. So I know it looks a little bit crazy to have white lashes, and hey, this might be a new trend, but I just wanted to kind of share with you guys just a little bit more of a close-up so you guys can see just, where I'm placing this, and just that you want to really coat the lashes as much as possible. There are a lot of lash primers that come in, either blue or black, but I like the white because it really shows me where I've put it and if I've missed any areas. So just kind of going in while I let that dry a little bit, just with my brush, just to kind of blend, get any of the excess eyeshadow that may have fallen, and just make sure that there's no, just stark lines or anything like that with the concealer. And now just going in with one of my favorite mascaras. This is by L'Oreal Voluminous in their Carbon Black. And I like this because right when you go in, it just covers everything. It just makes that consistency really nice. But I just wanted to share with you guys that, you don't have to be afraid of the white primer because it definitely does cover. But with this look, again, I didn't want to use any lashes or strip lashes. I just wanted to keep this as everyday and natural as possible, but still keep, or have a defined, lash look, just to kind of really make the eyes pop. And going in with the Fenty powder, this is where I go in and kind of set this. So I've just been loving how this looks as well because it's called Pro Filter, and I felt that it did exactly that. It really smoothed everything all over the face, blended everything really well, and I love how it looks. It's absolutely flawless and beautiful, and I'll definitely be using this a lot more often. So I wanted to go in, this is by Makeup Revolution. It's their Dewy Cream Blush, and I just love this really bright pink color. So I put a little bit too much on there, so I just used my brush just to kind of, grab it and then disperse it on both sides. But I just love how natural it looks, even though it's a little bit more pinky. It's beautiful. And then kind of just going back in with the Sephora setting powder, just to kind of brighten and set that under eye underneath, and just kind of keep it as flawless and as beautiful as possible. So for the lips, I'm using the Physicians formula, and this is a great drugstore brand. I wanted something a little bit more pink since I used a brighter pink for my cheeks, and just kind of like place that all over, but I love how it has that matte consistency. But then just kind of going back in, I do love my shine, so I went back in just with a little bit more of my favorite lip gloss. This is the NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the Praline. So I just kind of went in and just kind of placed that just in the middle, just to kind of add a little bit more moisturization and gloss. But then I started thinking, you know what, it's a little bit bright and needed some definition to the lips. So I went back in with a dark brown liner just to kind of define the lips a little bit and kind of tone down a little bit more of that nude, because I thought that just looked a little bit better with my face and the look that I was going for. So one of the other things that I forgot to mention that I recently got about a week ago, because I originally had this and I thought I lost it, and it was the Fenty Beauty Invisamatte, and this is, I have to say, like a new holy grail of just making your skin look super filtered, I have to say. So when I am done with, you know, a makeup look and everything like that, like this, a powder puff or so, and just kind of tapping that in there and just kind of going in and just really setting the face, especially in the parts that I get the most oily, pretty quickly. And this always stays in one of my handbags or whatever handbag that I'm carrying, because as you can see, even just over time or even a couple minutes for me, especially with the lights, things like that, especially when I'm filming, I tend to just, you know, get a little bit more oily and my T-zone, things like that. And yes, I do want my makeup to look a little dewy, but I still like it to have that really blurred effect. And this is by far holy grail. And so that was another thing that I picked up. And so I had my husband, when he was in the States traveling, pick up another one. Sorry, with the light, it's like so bright. And so it is exactly the same. It's just, it does have a little bit of a different packaging. So this is just the old one that I had, and then this is the new one, and it just kind of has like the same packaging, but I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you can almost see a faint word matte behind there, and then, but it's all the same on the inside, everything like that. And so I'm glad now I have two, because this was actually a product I could not find in Mexico at all since it came out. Like every time they would probably get one or two in stock, and I feel the whole city, and it would be sold out like that. And I couldn't even find it online. And so when over the summer, I picked up one, and my husband was like, you should get two. And I was like, no, one's fine. And then I had it in somewhere, and I thought I lost it or left it somewhere. And so he was able to pick up another one when he was in the States last week. So now I have two. So it's really nice that I can have one for home and one that I can keep in my purse at all times. But again, it's just the minute that you put it on, it just kind of blurs everything. It does everything that it says. And so just in those little spots, you know, when I'm out, I can just kind of retouch up my makeup, or just like my nose area, T-zone, things like that. And so I kind of just wanted to reshare this one with you guys, because it is just absolutely amazing, and just kind of literally gives your face just that perfect like makeup look, I find. And the best thing about that is that, and I can give my true review after having this for a couple of weeks, I guess you can say, is I can go all day and get home, and then if somebody's like, hey, we're going out, we're going to do something, you know, let's go, I can easily just take that and touch up my makeup and not have to add anything else, and it looks like I just did a full face. So I highly recommend that one as well. But I thank you guys so much for watching. Like I'm losing my voice again, and I will join you guys next week for another video. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below, or if you want to see anything in my next video. Until next time.